All right, it is Saturday, last day of training in the week. We have our standard strength work, and then we're going to go into an EMOM. So let's get into it. Your power clean plus power jerks. We've been alternating power snatch 1 week, power clean and jerk. The next week, just a little volume building piece, same as our clean and jerks on Wednesday. If you did them 5 sets, 3 power cleans plus 1 power jerk. All the same things that I said on Wednesday apply. Reset for each rep. These aren't touch and go. Reset before your jerk. That jerk is a power jerk, right? So that means that we're not splitting our feet out. I see a lot of folks, especially when it's power clean, they like to clean it, bounce that bar a little bit, and then boom, go into their jerk. Really good skill, useful thing to have and train for Metcons, but that's not what we're doing right here. We're going to build into some heavier power cleans, some variations in the next phase. So this is just to set a little baseline and get some volume in on that power clean and jerk. So treat this as weightlifting work. Your front squats, you're doing 5 singles at 85+%. This is not intended to be a true max out day, right? We're not looking to hit a new 1 rep max, but we are taking the bounds off of that loading a little bit and allowing you to go up as you feel. Some of you are going to feel really good. If you feel really good, you can go up and you can go for maybe what might be a new PR, but also keep in mind that today, how do I phrase this? Today is the day to set a solid base, right? We're going to do 5 singles again in the coming weeks. Within the next 2 weeks after this, we're going to do 5 singles again with the intention of maxing it out. So today could be a confidence builder. You could hit your old 1 rep max. You could hit 97%, maybe if you feel good. But what you shouldn't do is blast the music, get yourself super amped up, 3 scoops of pre-workout. Like that whole thing, save that for a couple weeks from now when we're really going for it. If it happens today, just kind of, you're doing your normal training, the music's at a normal volume, kind of having fun, and you PR, that's sick, and that's exactly what you should do if you feel good. But don't treat it as a special day yet. We will do that later. This is intended to bleed into our 1 rep max because doing singles is a skill, and getting to practice that is a skill that when you go to actually max out, if you are more proficient in doing a single, the skill of doing a single, you're going to have better outcomes. And the skill of doing a single is specifically the ability to focus in on your 1 rep, get yourself as set up as possible, be really comfortable with knowing that you only have this one opportunity, this 1 rep to do, and that you've got to go through your checklist and set everything and make it nice and tight and solid to hit good reps. That's what we're practicing today to bleed into heavy singles later on, or a true 1 rep max. Once you finish that, you have a 40-minute EMOM, 15 or 12 cal row, 10 strict handstand push-ups, 14 or 11 cal fan bike, and 10 overhead squats. If you're somebody that crushes handstand push-ups, you can do more, or you can make these deficit, or you can make them kipping parallel. You can switch that up, and that's always true for our EMOMs. But do consider the fact that the strict handstand push-up and the overhead squat, that's going to double up on your shoulder fatigue. So here we're actually pushing through that strict handstand push-up, right? We're doing a full rep. And then we're holding that overhead squat, which creates a ton of fatigue, especially if your positions overhead aren't perfect. And we're breathing heavy, our core can't brace as well, or it's harder to do. That means our shoulders take over a little bit. We're compensating a little bit, and holding that position with a lot of tension in it is going to make it so that your shoulders are a little more fatigued. So I would do a round or 2 of this and kind of see, like, is this going to be an issue before you go and adjust it. If you don't have strict handstand push-ups, you can do them to an ab mat. You could also do box piked handstand push-ups, and you could, if that's not an option, you could take dumbbells, and I would recommend going to a dumbbell push press on this instead so that you can keep a little bit of intensity up. This isn't really the time to work on and get your strict handstand push-ups stronger. It's the time that if you have them, we're going to build volume. And if you don't, we're going to keep it shoulder oriented, but we'll go a little higher heart rate with a dumbbell push press for 10 reps as well. The overhead squat, same thing. If that weight is really heavy for you, if you're looking at it and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I can go unbroken, go down in weight. You should be at a weight where you can confidently pick it up, and it's annoying, but you can go unbroken every single time in under 30 seconds. Like, these shouldn't be overhead squats where you stand up, You take 3 or 4 breaths, and then you do a rep, and you stand up, and you reset, and you go. You should be able to snatch it, and then kind of go right into them and bop through like it's a Metcon. Once you finish that EMOM, your accessory is some D-ball sandbag hold. We've been doing these the whole cycle. They're pretty boring. They are redundant. They're one of the best tools for strengthening our ability to connect with the core, meaning like mentally brace it, be able to connect and create that tension. And then also for keeping our lower back pretty healthy, holding that isometric position where we're just holding the bag is going to not only strengthen it legitimately, it's going to make us much more enduring to that fatigue that we get in a Metcon. We're doing a lot of deadlifts or bending or kettlebell swings or any of that. If we're good in the isometric position, meaning static hold, not moving, not bending over, up and down, we're going to be that much more resilient when we do go and start doing a lot of bending. Once you finish that, we've got, the biceps. Dumbbell hammer curls, 3 sets of 25. Doesn't matter the weight, just make sure you're connecting. I throw a little swing in, and what I do is let's see if you can see this. I kind of swing up, and then from here, I'll stand up. From here to here, I squeeze into it. So I rock back, and then I squeeze into that position, and then come down. And there's this little bit of momentum because you're doing so many reps. But that squeeze at the end is going to blow up your biceps, and that's the whole goal. Once you finish that, your running intervals today, thank God we're away from those 1,000s. We're a couple weeks away from them, but we are starting with 1,000 meters, 2-minute rest, and then 3 sets of 600, rest 1 minute, 300 at our mile pace or a little faster. So our goal is to move quick on these. If you need a little extra rest, I would take it so that you can maintain the intensity, because the intensity is what is important on this day. It's not super important that you're doing it with the rest that is prescribed. So if you find yourself falling off a lot, don't adjust your pace to accommodate the rest. Adjust the rest to accommodate you holding that pace. Once you're done with another week of training. We'll see you guys here next week.